Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for coming back and watching another WEIGO podcast video. I'm your girl, Taria. So want to get into some things that have been circulating all over the internet, things that we all seen in real time when it was posted yesterday. But now I'm here to talk about it with y'all. First things first, please make sure, if you're not already, that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, comment, share, and also the audio version of the podcast. What else is going on? You can find on Apple, Spotify, wherever it is you find your podcast. Again, what else is going on with Taria as Faison? Please subscribe to the audio version and follow me on Instagram at WEIGO, WEIGO podcast. In case you don't know, WEIGO stands for what else is going on. So thank you guys so much for everybody who subscribed, left a comment. We've had conversations about what I've talked about. I really appreciate you guys. And I have a really good episode coming up tomorrow. It'll drop because podcast episodes drop every Tuesday and Friday. Of course, audio, and now they're on YouTube as well. It is with Really B, Really B TV. So I'm really, really excited. We had such a good time. We were going to be recording for like an hour and change, y'all. It's like 2.5 hours. It is so good, though. I really, really, really enjoyed her. And I have some other guests booked coming up that I know you guys will enjoy. So I'm excited about that. But today, right now, let's get into some topics. Let me just get one all out of the way. Larcus, Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan break up after nearly 2 years. Exclusive, okay? Exclusive. The pair sparked romance rumors in 2022. Larsa Pippen is done, in quotes, with Marcus Jordan, ET has learned. The Real Housewives of Miami star has officially ended her relationship with Jordan, her boyfriend of nearly 2 years, after a brief reconciliation earlier this year, around Valentine's Day. Pippen has decided to move on. Larsa realized this relationship is just not the one for her after spending some more time apart filming a new show. So I wonder, were they talking about Traitors? Because didn't one go before the other? I didn't watch. So, but I know they were on there. Didn't one kind of go before the other? Maybe that was the time. I don't know. She wants to move on and focus on improving her life. Slow blink. Remember those doll babies that you play with when you were little? And when you tilt them back, they would blink like this? Some things call for a slow blink. Anyway, they simply want different things out of life. Despite the split, the source adds that the relationship ended amicably, leaving open the possibility of maintaining a friendship in the future. Larsa wants more out of her partner, someone who is motivated like her. On Tuesday, Larsa posted a selfie on Instagram with the message, humble enough to know I can lose it all, confident enough to know I can get it all back. So wishing both parties the best, okay? Next caller. Let's talk about actually, I'm gonna wait on that story. I want to talk about Selling Sunset. I love Selling Sunset. I actually recapped some of it for YouTube. The hubby put it all together for me in November, and then I didn't release it because I didn't recap the whole episode. But I watched Selling Sunset, and I'm gonna be honest, I even watched Selling Tampa. I wanted to give our melanated girls a chance, and I wanted it to come back, but it did not. But do y'all remember, if y'all watch Selling Sunset, y'all know Christine, who started out the show. She wasn't on last season, but long blonde hair, and she would wear the clothes and the things. Selling Sunset, Christine Quinn's husband arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. So what I'm going to do is read what came out, and then I'll give the update. So Christine Quinn's husband was arrested this week, and the charge he was booked for is incredibly serious, TMZ has learned. Law enforcement sources tell us Christian Dumontet, Dumontet, was taken into custody Tuesday afternoon near his LA area home, where he was seen wearing a bathrobe and hauled away by cops who put him in a cruiser and took him to jail. In the picture, he's barefoot. We're told a call for a domestic incident is what spurred officers to show up. In terms of what allegedly happened, our sources tell us there was a verbal argument between Christian and Christine told cops Christian threw a bag with glass in it at her. We're told the bag missed Christine, and it actually struck their young child, a 2-year-old. And at this point, our sources say the call to 911 was then placed. We're told that an ambulance arrived, but the toddler didn't need to be transported, getting treated at the scene. We're told Dumontet was booked for us with a deadly weapon, a felony. As of this writing, he appears to still be behind bars on $30,000 bail. His arrest was first posted by Page 6. Her and Christian have been married since 2019. Now let's do an update to that. Update. Law enforcement tells us Christine Quinn was offered an emergency protective order against Christian Dumontet. Sources with direct knowledge tell us she accepted this protective order, which will be in effect for 7 days. TMZ has confirmed that Christine and Christian's 2-year-old son was, in fact, transported to the hospital. I thought they had a daughter, but the child was, in fact, transported to the hospital Tuesday via ambulance, and we're told Christine went with him. Sources with direct knowledge tell us that an ambulance arrived on the scene to treat the child, and in the end, we're told first responders thought it would be best if the kid, this is what the article says from TMZ, if the kid went to the hospital, so they took him. Now I want to get into another one. According to Page 6, Christine Quinn's husband arrested for second time in 33 hours after domestic violence incident. A source told Page 6 exclusively that the former Selling Sunset star and her 2-year-old son, Christian Georges, have moved to a safe location. Give me one moment because I thought I had brought it all up here. Here we go. Police officers arrested Christine Quinn's husband, Christian, for a second time Wednesday after he was released from custody following his arrest for domestic violence. Page 6 can confirm. His inmate record shows that he was arrested on a misdemeanor charge for returning to his and the former Netflix star's home despite having a restraining order in place. Sorry, I feel like a sneeze is coming on. So basically, he was arrested for the DA. I've said it, but and then she got the emergency protective order, but then he returned back to the home, so he was arrested again. He was released on bond this morning, and has a court date set for April the 11th. Photos obtained by Page 6 show a police SUV pulled up outside of the former Selling Sunset star's gate. Shortly thereafter, a police officer exited the vehicle and made his way up to the private road. TMZ was the first to report the news of his second arrest. My prayers out to Christine and to her child. It's definitely a scary thing when you're dealing with DA issues like that. It is really scary. So I hope that her and her child are protected and that he gets exactly what he deserves. So let's move on and talk about Miss Karen Huger, the grande dame. RHOBH star Karen Huger charged with DUI after totaling Maserati in high-speed crash. The Real Housewives of Potomac star Karen Huger has been charged with driving under the influence following her high-speed car crash late Tuesday night. Page 6 has confirmed. The reality star is also facing a driving while impaired by alcohol charge. Both will require court appearances. Furthermore, she has been slapped with six traffic violations related to negligent and reckless driving, speeding. Okay. Oh, they break them down. Okay. So furthermore, she has been slapped with 6 traffic violations related to negligent and reckless driving, speeding, driving with a suspended registration, and failure to notify the Motor Vehicle Administration of her change of address. The fines associated with the above-mentioned charges range from $50 to $510 and will require court appearances. TMZ first reported her DUI charges. The outlet also reported that Huger claimed she was coming home from dinner with a friend and they were discussing serious topics before her crash. She allegedly said she was crying while driving. She reportedly claimed her emotions were running high as the vehicle headed toward her, causing her to swerve away and lose control. It does not appear she was arrested following the incident. So in case you haven't heard or you want to see it again, I will read exactly what Karen said. Karen said, "Thank you all for your prayers and well wishes during this frightening experience. I am still in shock from last night's incident, but grateful to be alive today. With the passing of my beloved mother, grief comes and goes in waves, and with Mother's Day approaching, it has felt more like a tsunami. Last night, I met a girlfriend for dinner. We talked and brought up some very emotionally sensitive topics. I was crying on my way home and saw a car heading right for me. I swerved to avoid the head-on collision, hit the divider, and then a tree. I'm hurt, bruised a bit, but so grateful I am alive. I did receive citations, one of which was unrelated to the incident. I believe that's the change of address one, which is understandable. But what was most surprising is that the car that almost hit me just drove away. Karen finished by saying, I would like to stress it's important to understand your emotional state when driving, and may this be a reminder to all to use their seatbelts. My mother may be my guardian angel, but the seatbelt saved my life. Listen, I believe all of that could be true, right? Definitely. I also believe Karen may have had too much to drink, hence the charge with the DUI. So in the top of this video, I mentioned that I recorded with Really Be TV, and we talked about it just a little briefly on the podcast yesterday. And my first thought was, I said, was she drinking? And then after we got done recording, I saw her statement come out and I was like, oh, dag, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but that's how I felt. But then, sometimes we don't always have to say everything. We think even on YouTube, or there's a way to say things, right, without coming off harsh or what have you. Because for me personally, when I talk about these people, I try very hard to remember that they are human. At the end of the day, they're human beings just like them, right? I mean, just like us. But I immediately thought she was drinking when I first read this. And then when I saw her statement, I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And then when the update came out that she had been charged with a DUI, I was like, just like I thought. But I want to call y'all's attention to something. Talking about Sharice and the drinking, right? I want to call your attention. Let me see here. I'm just going to read it from my phone because I had it pulled up, but it's the screen is really big. Remember this. Darn it. Wait a minute, y'all, because I may have deleted it, but I didn't delete it from the deleted files yet. So I can always restore it. Yep, there we go. Okay, so Sharice Jordan Jackson, or Sharice Jackson Jordan, whichever one. Y'all remember, Sharice claimed last season that Karen was jealous of her riches, but did say the Grand Dame makes good TV at the cost to her self-respect. Karen can keep practicing her lies in the mirror as she prepares for the reunion, and she can keep wishing my coins would go away. They won't. At the end of the day, Truly Original and Bravo can continue to clean her up to make her look like whatever her delusion mind wants to be. She makes good TV. I believe she said this in an interview, I think. Let me read that last part again. At the end of the day, Truly Original and Bravo can continue to clean her up to make her look like whatever her delusion mind wants her to be. She makes good TV. Then she also said to Karen, friends who say they had to get you out of rehab and all that stuff. Remember that argument they got into at that dinner? And Karen was talking about her friends. And Sharice says, friends who say they had to get you out of rehab and all of that stuff. Karen said, nobody's been to rehab. To which Sharice said, I know she has been to rehab because I know her friends. Her friends also live in Potomac. And a few years ago, Karen went to rehab in Florida, and the girls went to Florida, got her out of rehab, and they partied. We've also heard the other ladies, Robin and Giselle, say that Karen will call them drunk. And I believe Robin said she likes those calls because that's when Karen's her most authentic self. Then remember when she got drunk with, I know it was Monique, Candace, Karen, and Monique's, when they went on that trip and they were taking shots. Y'all remember that? I don't know if Karen has a problem, but I would say if she's been to rehab, maybe it's a slippery slope for her. And I do believe Karen addressed what Sharice said, and I didn't pull that. I wish I did, about her going to rehab, but it could be a slippery slope. I will also say if she was drinking and driving, we thank God that Karen is alive and that she's not even hurt. Like her car wasn't drivable and had to be towed. But thank God that nobody else is hurt. I know she said that the person that was headed towards her just drove off. But if Karen has been drinking, she could have injured or hurt or possibly taken somebody's life. So I do wonder if calls and text messages have been made, or if some of the ladies on the cast feel like a weight has been lifted off of them because they already have their storyline planned of what to talk about for the next season. Not Karen, I'm talking about some other ladies. I just wonder, because some people are it's about the show in one way, maybe not necessarily all coming together and moving forward, but if they can already have a subject in place that they can speak about without revealing too much of their life, maybe this may have taken the pressure off of them. Maybe some phone calls and some text messages were made. But anyway, I'm glad that Karen's okay, that she was not hurt or taken out of here, or, seriously injured or taken out of here, and that neither was anyone else. We know the story will continue to unfold. Isn't this Karen's second charge? What's interesting to me is they gave her those citations, but they didn't arrest her. Is it because her blood alcohol content was maybe under a certain limit? I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all, that is all that I'm going to be talking about in this video. I do have another video coming with just a few topics, but I just wanted to make sure. Yes. Oh, I do have something else I wanted to talk to y'all about. I am so sorry. I wanted to include it on this video. I know that y'all have seen the RHOBH news. 8-Point Marie will not be returning for next season. Let's read her statement. I got this from the Reality Rundown. I just got word today that I will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. To say that I'm disappointed is an understatement. I never auditioned for this show. The show found me and asked me to be on it out of the blue 6 weeks after the cast had already started filming. I was thrown into filming 2 weeks later, mid-season. I was very excited about the opportunity, and I thought, following exactly what I was instructed to do. Let me read that again. I'm sorry, y'all. Something just popped up. She says, here it is bigger for me. She said, I never auditioned for the show. The show found me and asked me to be on it out of the blue 6 weeks after the cast had already started filming. I was thrown into filming 2 weeks later, mid-season. I was very excited about the opportunity, and I thought following exactly what I was instructed to do throughout filming last season was the way the, in quotes, game was played. That's what she said. Read that line again. She thought she was following exactly what I was instructed to do throughout filming last season was the way the, in quotes, game was played. Listening to what was instructed to do was my rookie mistake. What I am disappointed about is that the fans never got to see the real me or even a glimpse of my unique story. Contrary to what was shown on TV, I am not obsessed with the esophagus, LOL. What I am is a woman, a proud Black woman who is truly blessed with a wonderful, strong Black man as my husband, who lifts me up and our 4 wonderful children up with so much love and positivity on a daily. It was an important mission of mine for the next season to show a solid Black family unit and that true Black love exists, even in Beverly Hills. My struggle with losing my mother to lung cancer within weeks of taping, and my struggle with adoption trauma and what was going to be and still will be a new life journey for me to find my biological parents, all of which was taped but never shown last season. To the fans that saw past what was portrayed and saw the real in caps me, thank you so much for the love and support. I wish all the ladies good luck on the next season, and thank you, Bravo, for the opportunity. As an athlete, challenges only make you stronger and more determined to prosper. I'm excited for the new opportunities ahead that celebrate positivity, truth, authenticity, and the values I truly align with. Until we meet again, thank you, AnneMarie with a heart. It's interesting that she did what she was instructed to do, and then says, listening to what I was instructed to do was my rookie mistake. I've heard Drew mention taking the beat when she was on Speak on It with Candy, that it's a beat given. And then at one point, Candy said that argument that she got into with the person who was a friend of Ralph's cousin Courtney. Candy said in that moment, when they were going back and forth, she realized, oh, I'm the beat. Like basically, I'm the one that's going to get the brunt of it. That I'm going to be talked about in this scene or taking the hit. So I guess, and I've heard that mentioned by somebody else, taking the beat. So I guess maybe if AnneMarie is talking about production, they led her to bring up the esophagus. Now we do know that Kyle was putting on lipstick and said, don't forget about the esophagus. And then AnneMarie brought it up. So I'm not sure if AnneMarie, if she is talking about Kyle here or both, Kyle and production. But either way, she will not be returning to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills showing her Black family. I wonder if this is a blessing in disguise for her, because for those of you that don't know, there's a lot of charges against that husband of hers back from his college athlete days that involve allegedly taking something from women that didn't belong to him. And someone who worked at the university in the student office or Office of Student Affairs posted on Twitter that they remember when the students, the female students, bringing in their complaints, and the university silenced them pretty much. And I remember reading he was actually sent home for a semester to do his work from there. So yeah. So I wonder if maybe this might be a blessing in disguise for her, because that would have all possibly been talked about on the show next season. We'll see. She said, until we meet again. I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to do a show about anesthesis. Who knows? But anyway, I was going to say, shout out to in the words of Brooke Ashley, shout out to everybody. Shout out to AnneMarie. We had fun, but I didn't have fun watching her. I'm not even going to lie. I didn't. So I'm not going to say that. But best of whatever to come for you and your family. Y'all, that's all I have for this video. I will be back with a really short one, another one of 2 more things that I wanted to talk about. So until, in the words of AnneMarie, until we meet again. See y'all.